is here, he can testify to that. I think in climbing trees, eating guavas in Mosoti's compound, and so on, somehow, it was some miserable thing you could not manage properly. It just gets lost. I didn't know what used to happen. And my mother worked hard. I don't know anybody in this world who's more patient. She would go to the market and sell milk, sell her wares. And every Sunday come home, she would go to the market twice a month. Once a fortnight, she would be at the marketplace. Then she buys a set of pencils. Then she comes and cuts each one of them into 3. Because she knows that I am actually going to lose that one. And every single morning, I don't know anybody more patient than that. Every single morning, she would sharpen one for me to go with to school. She tried all gymnastics to help me keep the pencil, including creating a hole here, on your collar. She cut my shirt and created a hole and told me, listen very carefully, when you're finished writing, put it back in there. When you climb the tree, it will not get lost, it will still be there. But I still lost it. I don't know, it still disappeared. But there's no day I went to school without a pencil. She even made some string, made some marks around it, and tied the string and tied it around my neck and said, look, it will not get lost now. Even if you run, it will still be there. So come back with it in the evening. There's no day I went back home with a pencil. So that is how we grew up. I think the problem was, Kefa, as you remember, is the wavas in Mosoti's compound that were a problem. Because we would go to climb there during break time and so on, and then the damn thing gets lost and so on. But she did not stop giving me a pencil every day. So we are humble. That's why when we discuss these things about the leadership of our country, about the future of our country, that we are moving forward, we mean it. It's from here. And now, I'll dedicate the next few minutes of my speech to the serious stuff, away from my troublesome pencil. Good people. About a year and a half ago, when I was about a few weeks old at the bank, I met a group of young economists, Kenyan young economists at the bank, just pumped into me as we were having tea. And then the way people get excited when they bump into me in town, oh, says you are here. I said, yeah, I'm here. Really, you are the one here? I said, yeah, I'm not AI generated, it's me. We said, do you mind giving us a few minutes? We would like to hear your story about public service. What do you think? I said, I have no problem. When do you want us to meet? We agreed to meet some day in the course of the week. And we were together for about 2 hours. Then they asked me, after all the stories are said and done, what are the 2 things you would like us to learn even as we work here at the bank? I told them, 1, always fight for your country. Fight for your country. We may have whatever challenges we have at home. We have disagreements sometimes because of politics. But our country is our collective foremost responsibility. Love your country. Don't talk your country down. Because we must love our country. We have not come very far away from home to this place to talk our country down. Secondly, I told them the best thing you can do with your life, and I believe it, best thing you can do with your life is touch someone. Go to your village, wherever you come from, Muranga, Kakamega, wherever it is. If there's an orphaned child there who cannot afford fees, save some of your lunch or whatever in the course of your stay here at the bank where you're earning dollars, pay fees for someone and affect the life of someone. And they should not be people related to you by blood or whatever. They should be people you know from village or somewhere there. Contribute to shaping the destiny of another life. That's why God has put us here. So that then, Dr. Bogongo begins what I see basically as my vision and philosophy. We are here for service. None of us is going to live forever. We will not live eternally. Those days of biblical people like Methuselah and so on living 900 years are not there. We are going to be here for a short time. And while we are here, let us render service and serve fellow men. The greatest opportunity we have is to serve our country and to serve our fellow men. And there's nothing more nobler than to be asked to serve your country. I had the privilege of serving my country in the position of cabinet minister, and every day for the 10 years I served, every single day I thank the Lord for the opportunity he gave me to come into contact with so many Kenyans. And as I told another group last night, every day is a very humbling experience, and every day drives you to an emotional point where you find meaning in human life by touching the life of another person. Whether it is, high school students. I've narrated stories about how I went to schools, and sometimes a student will tear through the security and almost grab me. Like an experience that happened one time in a school in Nyanza, and tell me, we are going to be sent home. The administrator said we are waiting for the parents' day. I have fees arrears for the last 1 year. My mother died. My grandmother who has been supporting me also died last holiday. And I tell the administrators, I will pay fees for this kid. Let us stay. I used to tell my cabinet colleagues, if they asked me to assist them together from one place for someone, I told them only one condition, that you pay fees for 2 people in that school. Then I will assist you. It's about service. I believe in service, delivering service to people. And that journey of life that I had in the public service was fulfilling and very exciting. And so, this is why I am having a listening conversation. So I answered your call, and the call of those many people who were asking me, Sasa mbona tunazama? One religious leader I respect waited for me at the door of a hardware in Karen. I had bought some nails, I was going to fence something, I was on leave. I found this bishop waiting for me there at the door. He said, CS, I was waiting for you. Oh, I said, Bishop, I didn't know you are here. Oh, he said, I'm here. I wanted to talk to you. Number one, you disappointed us in 2022. Why? We thought you were going to be on the ballot. He said, no, but we had 2 candidates. He said, now, okay, I want to tell you this, and it's the feeling of a lot of people I talk to. Would you consider running for public office? He said, you are a man of God. Why don't we all pray about it? And then figure out what will happen. Because, I can't give you an answer directly. I need also to consult and talk to other people. And I've been talking to people about this. I'm also responding to this call and responding to this advice and support so that I make a contribution in my life, in the service and in the development of my country. So, wonderful people, when the time comes, at the right time, when we move close, I ask you for your vote. But I don't stop there. I ask you to also hold me to account. That if you are drawn enough to give me your vote, also hold me to account. Ask me questions. I liked what the Gen Zs who are here were speaking. Wonderful, clever kids. A country that is endowed like that, should we be killing these kids instead of listening to them, Jamani? Yeah? With this kind of brain, you saw here. Brilliant. And this is what you see everywhere you go in the country. Very smart people, determined to contribute to their country, very patriotic. So we are at a very interesting time. You can see what is going on in the country. I don't want to describe our problems. I believe as leaders, we should not spend time describing our problems. We should be spending more time looking for solutions on how we'll fix our problems. I believe that in the case of the diaspora in our country, we cannot only love your money without your voice. We must now have your voice. We must have your voice in the management of the affairs of the country. I have promised and I have undertaken, and you can hold me to account, that when I'm done with my consultations and I've identified the party I'm going to run on. I have promised that I will present people from the diaspora on the list of nominations from my party to the IEBC. Yeah. So that your voice can be heard. And not just for National Assembly, Senate for that matter, but for county positions. The city of Nairobi, the city county, all of you are buying apartments and properties in Nairobi. You need to participate. But again, secondly, some of you people, some of your leaders, we are working together on this petition to IBC to increase polling stations in the US to up to 15 or 20 so that you guys can vote. Because honestly speaking, let me ask you a question. Sometimes we also have to be serious. I think that is what frustrates me about public life in our country. We have to be serious. How do you expect someone to fly from Houston to go and vote in Washington? Honestly, does it make sense? Let's be serious. And what is it? In fact, when I was talking to the Deputy Chief of Mission, because I took it seriously enough, that I rang up the Deputy Chief of Mission here and I told him, my friend, we have to work together with fellow Kenyans. This is not rocket science. It's a straightforward business. And these leaders, as we were discussing the other day in DMV, are willing to also negotiate with institutions, including the schools in their various areas, that will serve as polling stations, so that the cost on IBC will be lowered. So all they need is an officer and a ballot box and the ballot papers, so that these people can participate in the choice of leaders in our country. We cannot come here and tell you how we love your remittances, but we don't care for your voice. We want to hear your voice. 3, as diaspora, please work hard to ensure that your voice makes a difference and it's heard. You are the ones who know the senators, the representatives. You are the ones who know the governors here. Some of you are working with these people. You know, we have a security compact with the US government, between Kenya and the US. It is you guys, some of you who now need to challenge the leaders, even here in Congress, to ask questions. Is your security assistance to Kenya being used against the lives of the people of Kenya? So that these matters are brought to the fore. Ask these questions. You are in a country where accountability is the way of public leadership. Please use that to help us. 4.3, I love what was said here by one of our speakers this evening. Let us now systematize a mentorship and training program for Kenyans who are at home by the brain trust we have in the diaspora. A lot of wonderful work is going on. The other day I met